of the image is purely miraculous. The other school of thought is that the image was somehow created by a byproduct of a miracle, and that miracle being the resurrection. And not to sound sacrilegious, but the snap, crackle, and pop of the resurrection or something, some sort of energy.
After decades of careful study, John Jackson believes that radiation generated the image, or in other words, light.
I keep gravitating towards a radiant mechanism that put the image on the clock. And therefore we have to start logically thinking that the body somehow is the source of this radiation.
How could a body be the source of such intense light? Science has been unable to tell us, but for many believers in Christianity, the answer seems obvious: the resurrection.
So when you look at the science of the shroud, we're scratching our heads and trying to say, what is it? What caused this discoloration? I think personal belief, based on scripture and based on science, is that the very split second that Jesus' soul zoomed back into that lifeless body, there was an explosion of light and gone.
To explore this personal belief scientifically requires an understanding of how light works. Whatever the source of a light may have been, light only travels in one of two ways: in a straight line, like a laser, or spread out and diffuse, like a light bulb. Neither way could have created the image on the shroud. If the light traveled straight, like a laser, the image should be a harsh silhouette. If it spread out like a light bulb, it should be an indistinct blur.
It should have been a very, very, very fuzzy shadow. That is not what you have.
Instead, the image is delicately nuanced and detailed, as if much of the light from the body simply never made it onto the cloth. It's a mystery that has fascinated Ray Downing during his studies of the shroud.
When you talk about the Shroud of Turin, and you talk about what happened to that information that didn't get there, where did it go? Did it go someplace else? You have a body disappearing, and you have particles that don't hit its target. There's a possibility that they went to the same place.
But where is that place? Could they have gone to a place that humans cannot see? To another dimension? Does such a thing even exist? The startling answer may be yes. Scientists today are exploring the possibility that the universe has hidden dimensions, much in the way that a hologram does.
A hologram itself records all the visual information in a three-dimensional volume on a two-dimensional surface. So we really are encoding the full three-dimensional volume information on a two-dimensional surface. It's a remarkable thing. And one of the more exciting aspects of modern physics is the question, and it's really being discussed, of whether the universe of our experience, all of the space and time, may be, in some sense, a hologram. And that's a fascinating concept.
It's a concept that the group of early Christians known as the Gnostics were exploring almost 2,000 years ago.
People hear about the holographic universe, that the three-dimensional information of the universe can be represented in a two-dimensional surface way. Exactly what the Gnostics were on about.
One of their writings, the Gospel of Thomas, alludes to this point.
The most prominent of the Thomas Gospel ideas is that the kingdom of heaven is spread out on the earth already and people don't see it. Gospel of Thomas is saying the kingdom of heaven has been here since the beginning of the world, since the first week of creation, and it's become obscured and people don't see it. The goal of the Christian movement, Jesus says in Thomas, is to find this hidden kingdom.
Perhaps they need to look no further than the Shroud of Turin, a two-dimensional equipped with a third dimension of information hidden within. Could the face on the shroud be a metaphor for the universe itself? For the computer graphics team, the search for the shroud's hidden face has been purely scientific, but science can only lead them this far. To finish the face in the shroud requires the skill of an artist.
Inevitably, you do get to a point where you run out of information. You cannot see the pores in a linen fabric. There's no eyebrows in the shroud. The hair is the same, and beard is the same color as the face. Why? The shroud doesn't have color.
All we got to do is put some of the missing features that we have. We got a good silhouette for hair, and we got good information for some of the facial features like the nose and the eyebrows and the mouth. Looks really good. And you can see really good beard and mustache coming out really well. So you can use a hair system to build that, use it to match what we have here in the image, and then just put a dark brown kind of color on it, and it'll match really well.
It doesn't take a lot of guesswork to assign pores and skin textures to a model, to know that the man did have eyebrows, and to provide them. So at some point you do have to leave the realm of actual information and use experience. The eyes are actually one of the easiest things to do, because they're spheres. You just have to construct all the things that gives eyes their quality, their depth, their sparkle, their color. The eyes blink, and you go, well, this is real. And I've got a lot of information about that face. And my estimation is I think we're pretty darn close to what this man looked like.
But is this man the same one that was crucified in the year 33 AD? Could this cloth actually contain the final piece of evidence linking it to the burial of Jesus? A piece of evidence that may have been hiding in plain sight for centuries.
History Television is giving you a chance